Now I've got it. Okay, so in looking at how to share essential oils with somebody in an effective way, there's Elise Chedevy, who I've recently gotten some fantastic training from. She says that you can do it the right way or do it the hard way. Both ways work, but one way is so much easier. And that's what I'd like to kind of sum up and teach you guys in just like 15 minutes right here. Part of the reason why I think this is important is because I feel like doTERRA is, bar none, like one of the best companies to get behind. I love their co-impact sourcing model of doing things. I love that they're really making a statement about sustainability and being there for the little guy. I love that they're huge into fair wages, way above the fair wage in some cases. And I also really like that like just the way that they treat their people, that positive energy, I feel like that comes back in how we get the highest quality oils, which they do not compromise on as well. The whole, if you guys check out APRC, which is Aromatic Plant Research Center, they're the ones who everybody kind of gets their certification through to say, you know, if you're pure or not. And that CPTG rating is actually only given to doTERRA because they have such a high quality standard of testing. Other companies will use this third party APRC, but APRC doesn't give the same rating to the other companies because now the other companies have all those particular tests done. So it's fantastic the way it goes. I apparently, what is the massage blend that's in Symphony of the Cells? Thank you. Okay, so quick going back to the Symphony of the Cells, I realized I missed your question. The one that is called Massage Blend is Aroma Touch. So I think, and also Soothing Blend is mentioned in there as well. That's Deep Blue. So Aroma Touch and Deep Blue are the specific names of those oils. Okay, going back. Oh, wait, I have to be able to share. Hang on. I have to do this one. Okay, if you want to know the real lowdown on everything to do with sharing doTERRA, this is where you're going to want to go, dailymentorcalls.com, and you're going to hit the yes, please teach me now button, and you're just going to put in your email. Now, I like that it's free. I like that you can just kind of poke in there and listen to a couple calls. If you want to know, I typically am now advising people to start with call 6, which is actually specifically about sharing essential oils, and that's what we're talking about today. So do pop in and call, you know, just for like call 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and see, you know, like if you want the real lowdown. Now, I'm also working with Elise Chedevy's Back to Basics book, and starting on page 8, oops, is there something that says it can't preview? Oh, it's just taking a little bit of time. Okay, we're going to go to page 8. Sorry for scrolling very quickly. This is about how to give an effective sample. And this is, I think, definitely one of the things that is different about doTERRA is we are a network marketing company. That usually scares people off when you hear, oh, MLM, that's terrible. We hate those companies, don't we? Well, it turns out we actually don't. There's some of them that we do. I've had some very bad experiences. I have lost money through my brother, him getting me into some MLMs that were probably just like all the things that you guys, you know, have typically heard about. But doTERRA really is different from that. One of the big deals is that there's an excessive focus on product, and we really want people to experience the power of essential oils before they're ever asked to purchase or even asked to learn more, really. So this is what sets us apart from the other companies in our industry. And I'll tell you guys, there's the things that doTERRA has accomplished in the amount of time when it comes to you know, making like a very financially stable, you know, upswing, you know, the kind of financial freedom that doTERRA has done with using this model has only been matched by Apple, which you guys know is a very, very stable company. So I can give you guys more details about about like what an awesome, business doTERRA is. I can't talk about that in this particular one, but just know doTERRA really is different compared to the MLMs. There's a very, very different feel about it in many, many ways I could get on my soapbox talking about. But here we're talking about giving an effective sample, and something that she really, really impresses upon me is this idea of taking your time in the preparation period and it being okay to have more contacts with someone before they're asked to make a buying decision. Number one, that helps you find people who are also interested in sharing doTERRA, but really it just shows better care. And as we go through, that's really kind of what I would like to propose to you as our, culture within this community of caring. That not only are we people who love to use the essential oils and love to share the essential oils, but we do it in a very caring way. And I think that's really important. So I'd love you guys to be able to learn this method so that can be passed on to many, many more people. So there are effective ways to sample, and then there are other ways that just waste your time and money. So try to follow this method and don't tweak anything. You can anticipate 80% attendance at your classes. You can anticipate higher enrollments and more people signing up with LRP, Loyalty Rewards Products program, and you'll also find the builders quicker. I'm going to stop here for just a second and ask you guys to answer a quick question for me. So question number one for this portion of the recording is, do you remember what your first sample was? Some of you may have only had a sample when you came to the class if you were, one of my buddies before I knew about this method and had really embraced a lot of this kind of caring kind of thing. Or if you guys actually received a sample from somebody, I'm curious to know what it was. So what was your first sample that you ever received from somebody? It'd be especially interesting to know if the method kind of followed this this model, or if it was slightly different because of different situations or whatever. Okay, so that's your first question. Go ahead and start sharing what your first sample was. Okay, here's some basics. The samples that we give are always free. Now that's a good thing, but you also have to remember this one down here. You're only giving 10 to 20 drops of an essential oil, so that'll be enough for a few applications. And this is very different from, oh, you have a headache? Here's my entire brand new bottle of past tense. It's a gift. That wasn't a sample, that's just a gift. And hopefully they'll be very grateful for it, but it's not a sample. A sample is only 10 to 20 drops. It's enough that they have a powerful experience, and it sets them up to be able to want more of a conversation about taking ownership of their health, and not depending on you to give them stuff. So here's another thing. We only sample one health challenge at a time. That's a big deal because sometimes when I meet people who are struggling with sleep issues that lead into poor digestion, that also lead into a lot of pain in their neck and head, or all these things, and I would love to just load them up with like 26 different oils, but that's not really going to help them take ownership of their health challenges. And so only sampling one health challenge at a time. Now we may have more than one thing that we try for that, but stick to just one to make it simple. We're going to choose a health need with acute symptoms so that they will see quick results with it. Now, if someone has fibromyalgia and they also have acne, although fibromyalgia seems like a huge deal, we really want them to get like the most, relief from that, we're going to choose to sample them for acne. Because when they see how fast and how powerful the essential oils are, it's going to open up a world of possibilities for them that will include being able to help the other things that they need deeper help with. Here's another thing. We only sample one oil at a time because it's good for us to go back and deliver more samples. And the one time that changes is if it's somebody who's lives a little bit farther away and you have to mail them some things, then you might put 2 or 3 things in a package, but you should only have them try the one oil at a time. So if it's a sleep issue, first have them try lavender. And if that doesn't work, go back into your package. Remember, I sent you some Serenity also. Okay, so then I'll try in the second thing. It would be the same as if we were dropping off things to their house. And here's the last key. is you have to set the proper expectations for the experience. And we're going to go on to that just now. And don't worry, guys, the way that this is set up is so that you are really coming off shining as a super good friend. And so that's why, like, a big deal why I want you guys to see this method is being able to care. All right, so you're going to deliver the sample in person. Oh, you know what? I want to go back and read the chat real quick. So let me, before I jump onto this, let me see. Balance was Marie's first, from chamomile for Tanisha. The blood to help with pain from your hand. I remember that, Paula. Yeah, I did that poorly. I didn't give you one sample at a time because that whole thing was something that I kept in my purse that helped my husband. And so it had like the Copaiba and Deep Blue and other stuff. So I kind of did it wrong, but apparently it was very powerful for you. And so that was good. So thank you for sharing, Paula. Okay, Melissa said frankincense. The blend for allergies. Oh, that's a really good one, Sandra. Yeah, lavender, lemon, peppermint. Past tense from me. Oh, Krista, you're so sweet. Yes, true healing oil. Yep, we keep it around quite a bit too. Allergy blend and breathe for Renee. Soothe the soul. Oh, that one's such a really good one. That was almost more of a gift, actually, Jasmine, but really good. Oh, yeah, and Gina says on guard for the cleaning solution. Yes, fantastic. Very, very good. Okay, thank you guys for sharing. I love being able to kind of interact, and yeah, some of you guys I have like very strong like just heart connections too, so it's fun to like think back on some of those times as well. Okay, so here we are. So we can deliver the sample in person or send it in the mail. You can include a couple samples for one ailment if you're just mailing them, but tell them only to use the one at a time, which I guess is what I already told you. I was jumping ahead. The things that you're going to need, there's only two things that you really have to get set up here, although I'm gonna show you how this works. Well, I guess you kind of do need grams too. Okay, so you'll need the sample of essential oils, which will look like this. This is at oillife.com, and you notice that these are the 1/4 drams, and this is just kind of an easy, I mean, you can get them in different amounts and whatnot, but the basic idea is these drams only fit, 10 or 15 to 20 drops in each. So so that you're not over sampling and giving them so much that it's going to take them a long time to go through it. It'll be overwhelming. So that's what it's going to look like for you to put them into the things. And this A to Z guide is the other one that they are talking about being, sorry, let me see if I can, there it goes. You'll notice, so this particular set comes with 10 of them, and it just has some cool little ways to use essential oils. It has like kind of a, dictionary sort of style, alphabetically. What can I do for joint pain? What can I do for kidney stones? What can I do for like different stuff? And so it just gives people a very small snippet of visibility of what it would be able to treat when you're sampling for, like I said, like if you're helping their acne with melaleuca, but really, that fibromyalgia is like a bigger deal. Want to show you there is actually a whole kit that's kind of neat that comes with the 50 drams, a sticker book to be able to put stickers on the tops of them, the A to Z guide with 10 of them in there, and the Essential Basics book. So that's a possibility if you guys are wanting to be able to kind of get a little bit more intentional about sharing. That would be something that you would probably want to go ahead and do. Okay, back to this info. So that's what you'll need is the sample of essential oil, the reference material, that's the A to Z guide. Remember, they're $1. It's not bad to go ahead and invest a little $1 in a good friend of yours, right, to help them achieve something. And this is what you do. So you go to their house, or get them in the mail, and then get them on the phone when they get that stuff. And you have to set the expectations. This is a big one. Go ahead and memorize those, guys, because it really does make it easier to talk about stuff later when you kind of start off really open. So you say essential oils are similar to medication in this way. When you have an ailment and you go to the doctor and receive a prescription, if you use it and it doesn't work, you usually don't think to yourself, I'm never going to try medication again because all that stuff is useless. What you think is that medication didn't work well in my body, so I need to go back to the doctor and ask them for something different. We've been programmed this way. We understand that medications affect different people differently, and essential oils are similar in the fact that each oil is not going to have the exact same effect on every single person. So if you use an oil and you don't get the results you're looking for, that's okay. We can try something else. If you're patient enough with essential oils like you are with medication, we'll find something that is safer, cheaper, and more effective for you. Okay, so it's a matter of sentences, but it really sets you up for success, and it also makes you look like a caring friend, which I know the only reason you're sharing with them is because you want them to have, whatever it is, better sleep or less acne or less headaches or whatever. So this is just a good way to kind of set them up for that. All right, now after you set the expectations, you're gonna tell them how to use it and tell them what they should look for. So you describe it all the way through, like when here's what we're gonna do. When you get into bed tonight, rub a few drops of the Serenity oil into your temples. I usually don't tell people to put it on their pillow. I honestly, I'll tell them to put it on the bottoms of their feet or on their wrist creases, and because many people sleep with their hand close to their face, and so on the wrist creases, it's getting into their system really clearly, into their those pulse points, but also it's right there next to their nose, and it's very pleasant. So that's what I usually tell people. But you have your own little thing about how you use it and how you think they should use it, and but just describe to them as you lay down, take slow, deep breaths. You'll feel a wonderful calm come over you. You should feel more relaxed and sleep better. But remember, if you don't get the results that you're hoping for, we can try something else. I'll call you in 2 days and see how it goes. Around what time is best to call? Can I just highlight that area? I really feel like this is where I didn't do it right in the beginning. So this whole thing, if you don't get the results you're hoping for, we'll try something else. I'll call you in 2 days to see how it goes. I'm showing care. They will feel it as care if I set it on my calendar to call them and do what I said, but establish trust with them, and then also specifically say around when is the best time to call. Why is that important? Because then you don't feel like you're bothering them. So you're saying, I'll call you in 2 days to see how it goes. That's going to be Monday. Is the afternoon good, or do you prefer evening? Right? And so then they're envisioning, oh yeah, I'm expecting a call from her. She cares about me. She wants to know how it's working. So it really, really sets you up for success that way. And then you don't feel like you're bothering them by, calling them at sometime that won't work or whatever. Okay, so here's the next thing is you're going to do their 2-day follow-up call. And it does need to be a phone call. Texting does not seem to work for this because most times people will just, they'll give you a short answer and you don't really get the full story, or kind of, you don't get a sense of why their answer is what it is. So here's what happens. I'm going to give you a couple of examples, but it always starts with this question. Hi, have you had the opportunity to use Serenity yet? And now here's the thing is, most of the time, they're actually not going to have the opportunity to have tried it. Now, if the answer is yes, then you can move on. But usually the answer is no. They, left it in their purse and it got, shoved to the bottom, or they set it on their dresser, and whatever thing it is, you're not going to make them feel bad about any of it. If they didn't use it, you say, that's okay. Here's what we're going to do. When you get home tonight and start getting ready for bed, and you go through, put it on your wrist, keep your wrist next to your nose, all that kind of stuff, whatever it is, I think you're going to have a great experience. But if you don't get the results you're looking for, don't worry. I can bring you another oil. If you're as patient with essential oils as you are with medication, we'll find something that's safer and more effective and affordable for you. And I'll give you a call in the morning to see how it goes. Okay, so you've just established with that last phrase, I'll give you a call in the morning to see how it goes. This is their time to be like, oh yeah, I have to leave at this time, so call me now, because then I won't be driving yet, and I have to pay attention to the road because I'm going to a new place. Whatever, like, have that conversation, help them envision you calling them in the morning to see how it goes. So if by the second time they still haven't used it, whenever it is that you've established that you would call, a day later or whatever, Again, you're saying, hey, have you had an opportunity to use that serenity yet? If yes, cool, you'll go on. If no, you say, that's okay. Here's what we're going to do. Go get that serenity right now. We're going to have a little oil experience together right now while we're talking. Walk them through, tell them a couple different things, and they get to try it right there. That way, you know, it's not still in the bottom of their purse or whatever. So what if you say, well, how was your experience? And at this time, it's still not quite what you want it to be. Like you haven't got what we're looking for. So if it's anything less than awesome, don't react or sound surprised. Maybe they're telling you, yeah, well, it actually made me, it made, my skin hurt when I put it on. It was burning too much. And, it really, I don't think I can use it again. So when they tell you something and you're like, okay, that may have been a little bit of user error, or it may have been, some other thing, but you don't have to nitpick at them. They did what they could do, and you are still having the goal of giving them a positive experience. So you say, here's what we're going to do. If you'll continue to be patient with the process, I'll keep trying to find an oil that works for you. And if that peppermint was not the oil for you because it made your skin feel too hot, then I have this other thing. I have past tense. And it's another one that I think you'll have better results from, because it does have peppermint, but it's not as much. So if we're trying to help your headache, it's going to be much better for you. And I'm going to get you a sample of that. And we'll see if that's the best oil to address your headaches. And when we find the right oil, you'll have something that's safer and more effective and affordable to address those headaches. Okay, so then you deliver them the thing. Okay, I'm going to stop my share for just a second here, because I wanted to be able to go back and see. Okay, there was a little bit of convo about the thing going out, but I had seen that somebody had put some stuff in the chat. All right, I'm going to pop back over to my sharing the screen again. So what happens if they're like, that headache stuff was amazing. I have never had such a great experience. I'm always having to use these like seven ibuprofen by the time I get any relief, but that stuff was great. And I called my neighbor and I told her about it. And my mom wants to try some too. Okay, so they've had an awesome experience, right? So that's this part here, which is now you invite them to learn more, because now they've had a little bit of success. It's been great. And now you're saying, okay, if you think that peppermint is awesome, that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's incredible how many things you can solve with essential oils. And then you're going to talk about some things that you've had real life examples with, like something that really meant a lot to you. And you're going to say, here's what we're going to do. There's an amazing Intro to Oils class on Thursday around lunchtime, another on Wednesday in the late evening. By the way, guys, this is actually true. We really do. You can find it through the, well, really, I guess either through connecting with me or with Marcella. But we have standard classes that we always do in Zoom format, so that people who are ready to learn more about oils, the very basics, and get that intro level kind of stuff in, they can, if you want to connect with us and do something, have them clued into that call, both on Wednesday at 8:15 local time, or Thursday, I think we're changing it to 2 o'clock. We have been having it at 1, but I think that's not necessarily super great. And so I think we might change it to 2 o'clock. So somewhere in the lunch hour-ish. Okay, so I may get a little bit of an extra vote from you guys about when the best thing is would be. Oh, you know what? Yeah, Miss Sarah, if you want to go out, you can. My kiddos, yeah, my kiddos love Sarah, and she's been so sweet and quiet in here. But we'll let her go play with the little guys. Okay. Oh, it's recording my voice. Bye. Thank you. Oh, fun times. Okay, pardon me. Yeah, real life stuff, right? Okay, so Wednesday night or Thursday at lunch, And I think what you could learn there could really change your life, which of those would work best for you. Then following up to that, the only thing that you have left to do is 2 days before, so like on Monday night or something like that, you're going to give them a quick phone call and be like, hey, just wanted to make sure that you're totally cool using Zoom. Is that like, going to work for you? Tried it before. Okay, great. We'll make sure I'll jump on the same kind of time frame, and you just give them a little extra bit of something to kind of look forward to, that they're envisioning themselves attending. And don't ask them if they're planning on coming, right? You assume that they know the value because they had such a great experience with peppermint. They're dying to learn more. So, hey, I'm so excited to see you. This class, Wednesday at 8:15. We're going to talk more about essential oils and anxiety, and I think that's really going to help your daughter. So, I'll make sure that I, get that link to you beforehand, and we can jump on a few minutes before it starts or whatever. Right, and then the last thing is 2-hour text reminder. This is often where many things go astray because many of us don't make a decision about actually attending something until about 2 hours before. And so this is really good just to send one quick thing like, hey, excited to see you. I have a surprise for you. Or, can't wait for you to come if we're having a live event, which we will eventually be getting back to having live events. But, the whole Florida, like we're open, we're closed, we're open, we're closed, all that. Anyway, so the idea, hey, I have a little something, for you, and just kind of get a little bit of intrigue going. So if, hopefully that makes sense, but just in case, I'm going to show you guys this. So this is how it's set out here. If you're a charty kind of person, Marcella's going to share this chart in the chat for you if you want to kind of see it like just at a glance instead of through several pages. But the idea being you invite them to try a sample, you deliver the sample, and then you have your 2-day check-in. If they tried it, great. If they didn't, okay, well, we'll move on with that. But if they had a good experience, it was awesome, then you invite them to the class. And doing that, you're going to call 2 days before and text 2 hours before. Now, what if when you called, no, they didn't try it? That's okay. Give them more directions. And then you're going to call them in the morning, or, if it has to be the next day in the evening or whatever, that's fine. You make it work. If at that time they did try it, great. If they had an awesome experience, you're going to invite to the class and all these kinds of things. If they didn't, if it wasn't awesome, you're going to say, oh, tell me about it, just like up here. If it wasn't awesome, you kind of restate their experiences, remind them not every oil works exactly the same thing. We're going to keep trying until we find something that's safe and natural and cost effective, and you give them a new sample. Now, so here after you do this one, you pop back over to the deliver the sample, right? So it kind of starts back here. You make the big jump. And same with over here, if their experience was not awesome, you're going to jump back to the delivering a brand new sample. So hopefully that helps you guys to kind of see that like at a glance. And I already showed you that one, I think. Oh, no, I don't need that. Okay. Right, are we on? Okay, this is another way if you guys want to see it in this one. But yeah, I don't know how your mind works. I didn't like having it spread up between 2 pages, so I think the other one felt better for me. But the printable Back to Basics book is always available for you guys. Okay. All right. Have I already done a third question, or am I only done 2? We only did 1? Oh, I had to have done 2, didn't we? Didn't we do? Oh, I don't. Did I only do 1? We did 2? Okay, well, I need more questions here. Okay, so how about this? You guys tell me, what is the last oil that you diffused? How about that? What's the very last thing you diffused? So go ahead and put that in the chat for me. Just showing that you're attending here at the very end, at least, right? I last did Clementine. That was the freebie, from some time ago, and I actually had gotten it kind of stuck in between like the book and my diffuser, and so I rediscovered it because I already keep a Clementine in the kitchen next to my refrigerator. And it's in this cute little caddy with all the other, oils that we like to put in our drinks very often. But this extra one came as a freebie, so I had put that over there. So that's what I had diffused last. Okay, so Melissa diffused Adaptive, Sandra says Breathe, Marie says Wild Orange, Jasmine did On Guard, Gina said Tangerine. Those are good ones. I like it. Okay, I'm going to do another question for you. Oh, Serenity. That's a really, really good one. Yeah. Okay, I have to make my fourth question something else. So I'm going to say, what is, oh, how about this one? I actually kind of, I don't know if I can find the other. Did I ever get an answer to you guys about the, about what your most needed protocol was? Did I actually have you guys give an answer to that? Well, okay, well, let's make that one it then. What is the protocol that you need the most, right? Or if you don't know the names of all the protocols, what is the issue that you would like to have a protocol for the most? Because I still haven't actually chosen somebody to get a protocol. Did I do that one already? Paula, could you go ahead and unmute yourself? I can read lips sometimes, but let me go ahead and have you keep me in. Oh, I did ask that already. Okay, and where to find the protocols. Okay, yeah, that's why you guys probably didn't be able to answer. Okay, yeah, so that one's not as easy because you're not all looking at the same pages there. I should ask a different question. This is not good, is it? Feeling very unprepared. How about, I like this one. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love talking about essential oils? Because I really like it. I won't make you feel bad if you're like, this is not really that big of a deal for me at this point. That's totally okay to admit, mark yourself as a 2. I won't make you feel bad. But I would love to know if you, how much you love talking about essential oils. I do enjoy so much now being surrounded by a community of people, like on Friday nights, for example, when I have some of my friends over. You can, like, many of our conversations will start about, getting a haircut, but eventually somehow throughout the conversation, you had to use oils for some reason or another. And so doTERRA becomes so much into like every conversation, and it's such a beautiful thing for me. And I remember very clearly when I had very first started using doTERRA, and I felt like all the people around me thought I was totally crazy for thinking that these natural things could be as powerful as some of the medications, because I come from a more natural minded set of people, but my husband's side of the family is a lot more on the medical side. So there's very low respect for things that are natural in general, but that's all changing, like thinking of how my husband is now asking for something that sells protocols is great. So I love that I've kind of built that community around myself. And so I'm kind of curious to see what you guys' results, like your desire and like how you're doing being able to talk to other people about it at this part. Okay, so 10, 7, yes, love it. Get very excited when sharing. 8, 10, 7, 6, because you need more knowledge. Good point. I do get unsure when talking with people. Yep, totally cool. 7, need to learn what they all can do. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's true. Like the more exposure that you have to your own experiences and how comfortable you are actually, feeling like you can explain your experiences sometimes makes an impact, and it gets so much better when you have like a place to connect into a community that you get to talk to someone like that, who doesn't think you're crazy and who's had really good experiences too. Very cool. Okay, so now we're on to question 4, and this one is the one that I really have to have you guys answer because it decides, it's the factor for me of what you get sent for contributing to your wellness and business savvy by participating in these trainings. So I'd like you to leave me a comment of one sample that you would like for me to send to you. So I typically mail these out when I can compile all my addresses and stuff like that. If you were here present and we were just having a fantastic time at my home, swapping, you know, stories about essential oils and asking questions and all the beautifulness that comes when we gather in person, I would probably have some fantastic oil-infused brownies or something delicious, lemongrass hummus or something like that. And we would be, you know, munching and chomping on stuff. And I would feel like that was like a little treat that I was giving you guys and showing my appreciation for you being here. But since you're not, I have found a way to send out some samples that don't really cost me very much money to actually send to you. And this is a way for you to try something that you are interested in, but haven't yet, you know, made the decision to purchase. So maybe you're like, clementine, I didn't know that was a thing. I'd like some of that in my water. Or lemongrass, does that really go in hummus? Like, how interesting. Or Siberian fir or aroma touch or something that you've heard today that's kind of piqued your interest that you really would like to try. I would like to send you a sample of that. So you can go ahead and put that in your comments. I see Paula's already got spikenard. Oh, that is a good one. Watch out. Some people say it smells like stinky feet. I think it's actually more like kind of like slightly rotten blueberries. But the smell seems to change a little bit once it's on you. It's really, really interesting, but very powerful. It's the oil of gratitude. So it's a really, really good one. All right, so yeah, keep commenting about what you would like. I typically, if you are somebody who's well experienced and you have most of the oils, you can ask for a sample that you would like to give to somebody else. Maybe you think somebody really needs some wintergreen and you don't happen to have it. I can send you something like that that you can pass on to others. So that's also another option. Seeing some cypress, very good. I'm glad you brushed your teeth. Mommy's still doing a recording though, okay? You have to have, everybody has to brush their teeth first and then you get a vitamin. Are you doing stick vitamin today or circle vitamin?
I will say circle vitamin.
Circle vitamin, sounds good. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Love you. Circle vitamins, by the way, are the round ones, the A to Z chewables that you guys probably saw in my cart that I ordered because we get the lifelong vitality supplements, but kiddos get the chewable ones. And then they also, the stick vitamin is the probiotic junior, which is just like a pixie stick. If you guys ever need some probiotics in your tummy, but you don't like taking pills, even adults tend to like those, but the kids, I really, really like them. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and jump off. You guys can comment here. We'll take down the answers. Remember that if you are listening to this as a recording, you can send your answers to enamoredwithnature@gmail.com, and I can catch you as attending from there. Okay, so yep, so last question is, yeah, just keep commenting with what sample you would like. All right, loves, stay courageous and stay calm. I feel like there's a new influx of things where people are like super worried about the virus and the spreading and stuff like that. I would just encourage you guys to, if it's bothering you, go ahead and take a step back from listening to it for a little bit. Like, just be secure that you are safe. You have some resources right here at your fingertips. You have that On Guard, you have, and we can show you another time if you're not feeling secure about this, but there are essential oils that are very, very reliable at making your space safe. So just be secure in the fact that you have what you need. You don't need to be acting in a spirit of fear. Stay courageous and on top of things, but don't get into the fear zone. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off, guys. Have a fantastic Saturday. Many hugs to everybody. Bye.